Ladies and gentlemen, we're here as your host. As starting soon, it means Shonen Ronin is starting. We're here on episode 11. And for the two series we're covering for today, it's My Hero Academia and Black Clover. Not Red Hood, another series. We're covering those two series for today. And we have another special guest from the team. It's Prince Allah. So let's get started and let's see our lovely faces. And our JBXclusive will be joining after the reaction. As always, check for the time codes down below on the video itself right here on the YouTube side or time codes on the podcast side. Because don't forget, we have the audio listeners as well for Shonen Ronin and the anime podcast. Don't forget to give that like, comment, subscribe all the time. And now let's see our beautiful, lovely faces. In a 3, in a 2, in a 1. Hello, how you guys doing? LegendDVash here, SamTheMangaMan, and down below is our Abe, our audio editor, and our seems to be our reoccurring guest week to week sometimes, right, Abe?
At this point, I'm appearing so often on anime lately and careful for spoilers. I'm like,
he's our fifth member already.
I'm the fifth member of anime lately, and like the unofficial third member of Careful for Spoilers. Like, hey, I'm with it.
Well, it's always an honor to have you. Like, for those that don't know, Abe is our audio editor for all podcasts of anime lately, and he does other audio editing for other podcasts like Spicy Lady, In the Mind of a Blur, and his own podcast as also an Abe podcast as well. And he's a reoccurring guest for the Careful for Spoilers villains. As myself, I'm the host there as well with my co-host JBXclusive as well. So definitely, guys, check that out show. We broke down Loki this past Friday, so definitely, guys, check that out if you guys do watch that show. But we're here for Shonen Ronin episode 11 and Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 33. It is a big one because we have Fujimoto on one shot. Look back, we are titled, but it's Fujimoto, so we should not expect anything normal from him. So that's definitely a good or weird thing, however you want to put it. And we're covering My Hero reaction as always first now, because for those that don't know, we put the reaction as the first thing part of the show, and then My Hero review. Because since Ray's not here, we're going to just cover the review straight right after the reaction, and then we have Black Clover last. But for those, me and the guys were having a discussion in the back, behind the scenes. We'd like to hear from you guys. Sometimes Black Clover, some chapters are not always so up to level as other series would read on the Weekly Shonen Jump roster. So while you guys hear this and while you guys watch this, definitely let us know in the live chat. Definitely let us know down below in the comment section after the video what other series would you guys want us to cover, because sometimes Black Clover we just probably want to skip or do a double review sometimes. So let us know. Just Under Unlock, Sakamoto Days, Masho. Sam, want to give me any other recommendation? Because that's all I have on top of my head.
Manga, huh? I mean, I haven't read the martial arts one yet.
I don't know much about that.
Also, Magu-chan. Magu-chan has actually been good lately. I like it. It's like adorable, cute kind of manga that I like to read every weekly.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just those three really, like Masho, Sakamoto Days, and Under Unlock, like the three that.
Under Unlock, yeah.
Yeah, so please, guys, if you guys want us to cover any other series.
I love me some Elusive Samurai now.
That's
Samurai.
I think Ray is reading that, so that's a good one for us to also discuss. I have touched only 4 chapters. I don't know much about that, so definitely stay tuned for that as well, guys. So please let us know what you guys want us to cover as well, because this Black Clover chapter can't wait for me, myself, Abe, and James to discuss in a bit. And for those that don't know, there will be no Shonen Ronin episode 12 next week. Weekly Shonen Jump issue 34 is on break, so it will be coming back August 1st with JJK. Jujutsu Kaisen comes back after almost an 8-week break, so we definitely be tackling that on August 1st with JJK, with Black Clover, and My Hero, Red Hood, and Kaiju number 8 most likely as well, because my Kaiju number 8 comes back next week, but we will not be there. Maybe venting, if you guys still tune in Anime League podcast, we'll definitely discuss it there perhaps, so definitely stay tuned for that. So that is all the announcement for stuff for you guys to know for the Shonen Ronin. And last thing before we do the reaction, Anime Podcast is also doing a giveaway. So definitely go to a Twitter pin. We're having an Anime Lily giveaway, hashtag Anime Lily giveaway. For all the rules and instructions are there. It's until July 29th on episode 104. We're announcing the 2 winners that could get a manga, webtoon, or a anime movie. So stay tuned for that. Definitely continue using the hashtag. Without further ado, let us read My Hero Academia chapter 320, right? 320, right? Is it?
320. You are correct, sir. Deku versus Class A. And our cover page is our girl Froppy. Froppy.
And RayApollo is here in the chat as
Right.
well. For those that know, RayApollo will not be joining today's stream. He is busy. So definitely, guys, if you want to hear Stars, go tweet at him or go to his Discord or the Anime Discord. So definitely stay tuned for that. And yes, Ray is right. I mean, not Ray. Sam is right. For the Froppy cover page, it looks really beautiful. Froppy looks nice. So let's read the first page. Once he set his mind on something, he refuses to stop. I know that well. We heard how you unlocked the 4th and the 6th. Looks like you're even drawn differently than the rest of us these days. Nice 4-4 right there breaking. You damn nerd. Go ahead, Sam.
Y'all came for me, but thanks, but the 6th smoke screen. Don't let him get away. A smoke screen. That's the 6th power. Right, about to go landmine blast. Don't you want to chat, huh? You just gonna sneak off then? So now that you're one of all powerful big shots, are we just a bunch of NPCs to you?
Wow.
Man,
Okay.
it's just that pedal is just crazy. They said you could come back to school. You hear that, Midoriya? The principal is ready to welcome you back. Got that? So stop running away. That's what Koda is saying. Sorry. He's jumping around.
Oh.
We get Ida. No, we get our boy with the tape. He pulls up.
I think his
He
name is
says,
Shiro.
The black whip of yours, Shiro. The
Shiro.
black whip of yours is kind of freaky. No wonder people are scared. Ooh, I like that. There you go. Think of it as a part of your body stretching out. Wow, I can really morph it. Sero.
Oh, Sarah's close.
He taught him these stuff with his black whip.
Heartbeat, wall, swoop. Dang, he's fast. Hey, Midoriya, I don't know it. I don't know if it'll matter, but for what it's worth, remember when you helped me organize my notes and gave me the tips for the school festival? You really helped me back then. I was so sure people will just call this a useless hobby. So it feels like I've got something to prove. Ha! It might not seem like much, but I appreciate that so much. Tornado tip dance. Remember that stuff with Shinso back at the sport festival? I will never forget how mad you got on my behalf. So how can I sit back when you're the only one fighting and running yourself rag out here? My presence is a danger to all of you. An explanation point.
I can't let All For One take you all away from me. That's why I had to leave. And then he's having all vision of Gran Torino getting punched, Bakugo getting stabbed by the All For Ones. We still don't even know what kind of quirk that thing is. Okay, we got our boy
Tokoyami.
Tokiyami, thank you. Thrust Black Shadow. Oh, sorry. Okay, drew him to a building. He's gotten way too strong. Serious strength of will, too. Midoriya, open your ears. You might have some special powers, but we understand how you feel. We all feel the same way. Plus, there's what Koda said about the school. You gotta hear us out. If not, I'm never letting you food die for Aries candy apples ever again.
I never heard that phrase.
That's just
Open your
fine.
ears. Like that's a different one than open your eyes.
That's just fine. Eri doesn't need me. It doesn't have to be me. You should know that we intended to join you in your efforts. We've been authorized to use our quirks to aid Endeavor and the other heroes. For this mission to ensure your safety. A machine to put me to sleep? Enough. Stop wasting effort on me. Just get away from me. Not a chance, pal. Midoriya, we get that One for All is really important, but you got something even more important in your life. Me and you, we ain't got a ton in common, but you're still a friend. Even if we gotta force this friendship down your throat.
Ooh. This is insulting tape. Yazuru made from my tentacles.
Insulating tape.
Insulating tape. Yazuru made from my tentacles. A lineup like this might even give All Might a scare. That's what you say during the attack on our training camp. Dark Shadow, indulge in the darkness. Ragnarok, womb. Repurposing Dark Shadow
That shit looks sexy.
offensive in service of defense was a concept birthed by you, Midoriya. That's very true. Do you see us as more victims who need protection and coddling? And don't you miss bathing? You need a bath. Real bad, Midoriya. He must think that. You a stinky boy. Please, just stop.
Oh god.
Oh, right there's a statue too. Ah, damn.
Okay, he broke out of that. We pried apart the binding of Ragnarok. He pried apart, the binding of Ragnarok. Stop already. I get it. I know you're all just worried about me. You worry deep down in your hearts. I know that for a fact because there's no real danger or malice here. Danger sense would have alerted me otherwise, but you guys aren't sending it off at all. So please get away from me. I'm begging you. I mean it. I'm fine.
Oh.
Heaven piercing ice wall. Hey, Shoto, we was waiting on you, baby. What a look you have on your face. Is this responsibility so much for you that you can't even let yourself cry? Seems like a burden you should share with the rest of us. And yo, Froppy, not so fast. I'm not weeping and moping around anymore because you matter to me. You're my friend, and when we're scared, we tremble together. When times are tough, we cry together. So if you're dead set on being some comic book superhero, then Class A won't let you live that fantasy alone. Hey, yo, I mean, we've been saying that Hirokoshi's been influenced by Western comics so much. I love this chapter.
This is great. This is a great chapter.
Great chapter for the live reaction, and we can welcome back our JBXclusive to the table, to the council.
Yo.
Welcome, variant James Bond.
Well, James, since we just finished our reaction and we give our full first impression thoughts, we really want to hear yours, as always, first. What did you think of the chapter?
I absolutely love this chapter. One of the biggest things that I took away from this chapter is, up to this point, we've seen Deku use his classmates' abilities to improve his own fighting style, to improve his own abilities. And now we're getting to see the classmates do the same thing with what they've learned from Deku. So I thought that was a really, really great parallel. And the last time we talked about My Hero, I was the person that said, you know what? I don't want to see all of Class 1A. I just want to see Bakugo confronting Deku. And reading this chapter, I'm completely wrong, which is why I'm not a manga writer and why Horikoshi is so goated, because he's using that parallel to show Deku that people do care about him, right? To show him that, you're just as much as an influence on us as we were for you. We're all in this together. Like Bakugo alluded to in 319, I believe, when he was talking to Endeavor, it's like, you don't get them like I do. All Might is not going to stop him because he became the symbol of peace with the exact same mindset. So we have to stop him. And much like All Might did everything on his own, we have to change the tide of how this hero society works. You can't do it alone. Even if your power rivals All Might at 100%, you can't do it alone. You can't run yourself ragged when we are here to help you. I understand that this burden is huge, but we are your friends. We are your classmates. So I love that Horikoshi is driving that home. And I love that he's also using this moment for us to learn all of the new techniques that the members of Class 1A has learned since the last time that we saw them, right? And I can't wait for the next chapter. It kind of sucks that it's going to be in 2 weeks, but I want to see the rest of this confrontation with him and Todoroki. I want to see Bakugo Deku Part 3. Like, there's so many things that came out of this chapter, and I can't wait to break it down with you guys.
Oh, man. There's a lot of good conversations throughout this entire chapter, and I think if you were, I'm looking at through some panels right now, and I see All Might's car right here too.
Oh yeah. I was gonna bring that up later. So I was gonna say, would you guys want to break down page by page, or would you guys want to break down what was our favorite conversation interaction? Because I just want to say, my boy said my boy Kaminari said my favorite line: "Don't you miss bathing? You need a bath." Real bad, Midoriya. I was like, damn, boy must be stinking that fun to say real bad. You need one. I was like, damn.
Nah. My favorite was when Bakugo. Like, yo, you don't see us as a threat, man. You don't. You just think you're all so powerful, big shot. You always see us as NPCs. Like what? You want to see what? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Like,
that
man.
was my favorite too.
Nah,
Oh, it was?
man. It's like we all work together. We actually are pretty powerful separate, but we're even more powerful together. But technically, they did a good job trying to restrain Deku, and it's also learning to know danger sense only detect ill intent is what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
getting from
right.
danger sense. And like,
I also love the little exchange between Deku and Zero, right? Because Deku was learning about his Black Whip from Zero, and now he can see the product of what Deku has accomplished using Black Whip. So I also thought that was really really dope. Tokiyami showing up and telling him like, "Yo, it's because of you that I even thought to use Dark Shadow as a defensive technique as well as offense. Like you've taught us so much, we can do more together." So it's those interactions, man. Hey, what about you? Like, what was one of your favorite exchanges?
It was. I mean, I love Tokiyami, and I've loved Dark Shadow. He was ever since I was introduced to it because I started off with the anime. I was like, yeah, this is my shit right here. Ragnarok Womb. Oh, first of all, what a great combo! What a great
Right?
combo attack. I really enjoyed the growth that this chapter managed to show us, not only um of Deku but of the rest of the class. Like you all mentioned, the fact that we're having them these flashbacks going back as far back as the sports festival and whatnot, and these flashbacks are showing like, hey, these people were getting advice or were teaching themselves, teaching their powers to Deku, and yet unknowingly to Deku, like he was imparting a lot of knowledge upon them. Like they both got to see growth. For example, Sarah got to see like, oh wow, I showed him how I use my tape. Look at how he's using Blackwood. Like
it's
that's
very
dope.
it's very
That's
Venom type, especially when he didn't have to look back
right,
and then the wall behind him and literally
right.
let's stick there and I'm gonna go over there. Like, oh snap, he doesn't even
It
have to
was
see
it was
it.
dope. And I'm glad you mentioned this too, Vash, that you mentioned All Might's car, because what's coming is by
Stain.
far my favorite character of the entire series. And that's I'm thinking Stain is probably in that car too. Either
Yeah,
Stain is in that car, or All Might is gonna bring Deku to Stain or talk to him about Stain. Like be like,
yeah.
yo,
There's
not
gonna be
that
a
we have issues, but
conversation,
yo, yeah. So we all feel like the conversation's coming,
Bro,
and
if All
but
hey,
Might
then
and
like
Stain pull up together, I'm gonna lose it. I'm
it,
gonna
it
lose it.
it's also another thing where you know how Stain sees all these other pro heroes as fakes and stuff, and now he's seeing these students, these change where like, okay, all of these students
which
are
is
true heroes. Like it's you have
which
to
makes
realize
me
this.
curious. It makes me curious. Where's Ida? You know, like
Right.
if Stain really does pull up, this is gonna be this is a possible Ida moment that they can provide too. I don't know if they will because
That's a
they
great
didn't
point.
really, in my opinion, they didn't do a great job of building upon Ida following the Stain incident. Like it was momentarily, and then Ida just kind of faded to the background, went back to normal. But here's a chance if Horikoshi decides to really have give Ida some important dialogue and also help him see what Stain is talking about and just see what type of character development he himself has had. But man, this is we knew the next couple of chapters were gonna be lit. And I am glad too, like you mentioned, Sam, that we kind of get the stipulations when it comes to danger sense,
Hmm.
which I'm
Yes.
glad he mentioned now because I sincerely think when it comes to fighting All for One and maybe whoever else, one of the other villains, they are going to whether knowingly or unknowingly exploit that. How often have we had instances in fights and whatnot where a character has like a danger sense type of ability, but
Hmm.
the enemy is able to surpass that? I mean, we even saw it in Sakamoto days early on, with Shin. If anybody recalls, early in the chapters when Shin is out trying to hunt for possible assassins that are going to try to go after Sakamoto, he's like, "Oh, I couldn't tell because there was no ill intent. I could not hear the thoughts of ill intent. I was so
Good
focused on those
point. Good
wishing
point. Yeah.
ill on Sakamoto." So I like that Hirokoshi introduced this because I think later it's going to come back. A villain is going to be able to exploit that as well.
I'm thinking maybe the traitor, but you didn't see it coming. You never thought the ill intent was going to come from this, and like this is where he strikes and hits. and like that's how he
So you
tells
guys
the
still,
readers
still
about
think there's
this.
a traitor?
I mean, if there is now, it'd be it's the best cover. Like you couldn't see this coming for Deku, that he got hit directly with something
but
now.
danger sense involves like it has to attack him. It's not like, you know, he'll just be able to walk into a room and be like, oh, you a bad guy, you a bad guy, you a bad guy. So shoot, if there is,
I mean,
a
but
traitor,
isn't he able to sense ill intent from like a couple yards, maybe a couple miles away? Like, isn't
Yeah,
able
he
to do
is.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's how-
danger sense goes through distance. Like for,
Oh,
I guess,
okay.
I guess it's from its
misunderstood that.
own, like, I'm guessing it's from the frequency in his brain. It just suddenly just shocks him through,
Yeah,
and he knows
but
which
isn't it when
location
it's-
it is.
Because I'm pretty
Is-
sure he
is it-
used danger sense, like when he went after like that big kaiju villain. He was somewhere else, and danger sense kicked in, and he knew where he needed to go.
correct.
Mhm.
And the same thing with
If I'm
Lady
not
Nagan.
mistaken, chat, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
And bro, the same thing with Lady Nagan when she
But
shot
she
the
was
bullet.
targeting him in that case.
Yeah, targeting him, but he didn't.
Right.
He didn't know the bullet was coming to him until Danger Sense told him, and then that's when he avoided it, and that's when he knew that somebody was targeting him. And right there's when the panel ended. I mean, the chapter ended, and the next week. But I want to add to what you guys were saying. I love how all the time we say that Hori doesn't waste panels, and it shows that why would he just add All Might's car heading to the direction of Deku? Like, there's no reason. If it wasn't, that means we would know the stain would be inside it, or he's bringing somebody inside the car for us to see. Like there, like we see Froppy, but then we see the ice. We could have seen Froppy
Could it be
again
his
flashback.
mother?
No.
Nah,
No.
his
No,
mom.
okay, no.
What do you think, Sam?
They won't.
No,
they won't
okay,
put his
so-
mother in danger.
Going back to what Vash just said about Hori does not waste any panels. The first two panels we see Ida. He's actually looking at someone with that intense seriousness. I think he's looking at Stain and All Might together, which is the only way to lead. Because remember how Ida was in the beginning, and like during the first Nomu,
point.
he literally had to run all the way to get reinforcements so that someone could come into Class 1A. He's doing the same thing right now. I think he's doing that to get
That
All Might.
is true.
And then with All Might, it's with Stain.
I
And of
think you're
course,
right,
he's
Sam.
gonna have the eyes of like, oh, why the hell are you here of all people? But you know what? I don't care. Our boy Deku needs help. He needs
Yeah, I
his
think Sam's
mentor.
right.
And I don't care if Stain has to go
Ooh.
with me. Like, we gotta go. Especially that second panel. It's like, especially the second panel. He only thought he has, I have to care about Deku because I know how his mind works. He refused to stop, and I know it so well. I used to be in the same position. I can't.
And
follow
Ida
that
did the
position
same thing
anymore,
when he
and it's
fought
thanks
Stain.
to Deku.
You're right, because Ida did the same thing when he first fought Stain.
He went
about his
after
brother.
All Might and Deku because remember, no more cell phone. They have no idea where he is. Ida's the fastest person that can at least go around to at least try to find All Might and stuff, and he can still communicate with the class people. So it's Class A. So like, all right, we know where he is. We need your help. Just come on, just go. It's going straight to it. And then the next
Also-
couple chapter, literally a fourth wall, literally Hori doing fourth wall breaking. Like, yo, you being draw different from all of us. You look more comic book than us manga kind of people.
Right. Also, let's not forget Ray's theory too. When we saw the All Might statue about what's to come, I'm hoping that Ray's theory about All For One pulling up, you know, even though his theory was that All For One will pull up with All Might. Well, first of all, what if we get a betrayal from Stain? You know, Stain is like, hey, All For One, here's All Might, take care of it. But regardless, I'm happy that we saw the statue again, because if All For One pulls up with the next couple of chapters, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm like, yo, it's time.
But I love how when we see All For One, right, we see the dark, scratchy bubbles. I love when Deku speaks, he's also get those scratchy, evil type of bubbles too, because
The outline, yeah.
Yes,
Like,
so I
the
love-
bold outline of
so
everything.
I
So
love-
you know.
I love what Baku will say. It's like what Sam brought up. Looks like you're even drawn differently than the rest of us. Like, yeah, that's 4-4 breaking, but I love how it plays so true to the current comic right now we're seeing. When All For One speaks, you get that dark, scratchy outline and everything. And when Deku speaks in page 10, he's I can't let All For One take you all away from me. And again, when he speaks screaming in page 17, so please get away from me. All those scratchy bubbles, it reminds me of All for One speaking. So like I love the details that Hori does for the character and showing the whole consistency, because people knows All for One has a lot of different quirks, and now they see Deku, and when they said a couple of chapters ago, oh, are you All for One, because he has different quirks. I love that consistency. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, literally, Hori gave every class 1A student a time to shine.
Wait, except one person that I think we're gonna see next chapter, and that's
Yeah,
Ochako.
yeah.
That's Ochako. We didn't
Yep.
see her
Which-
pull up or
And,
do
and
anything.
Bakugo, because Bakugo hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, like he
Yeah,
just said
Bakugo
comments,
technically,
but
all he
not
did was
full.
just all he did was blow away the smoke screen, and like
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure at this point in the moment, Bakugo told the entire class of how his other quirks kind of work and unleash and how to counter them. That's the only way they were supposed to
That
stop
is
Deku
true.
in this sort of
That's
way.
why Bakugo told each
But
person.
they
has
only
to
have
handle it.
they only know that the 4th and 6th are released, but they don't know about Fujin, and nobody knows about the first quirk, the second quirk.
Mhm.
So I doubt Deku would use Fujin, not in kind of this situation.
He will use
I mean,
Fujin.
this might be the situation to use it in, because
yeah.
Fajin does not require his full strength. So if he uses the kinetic energy build up from when he's fighting them, I think that would be more useful to use that against them than actually using his super strength.
And to add to that, he will use it in this particular one. He's right now stuck in the ice pillar, so he can't really get out unless he uses more strength. But if he uses Fajin, he just has to use this to store energy that James just brought up. And also, the next person that's going to be attacking is Todoroki and Bakugo. Those are two people that will do something. And also, we have Ochako. So my assumption is that Bakugo and Todoroki will do something, and then he'll use Fajin, and then Ochako will just come and swoop in and do something. But Deku will probably bring back to life, or maybe Stain. I feel like Ochako or Stain are the two that will bring him back to his senses.
I need
we also don't see Kirishima neither, actually.
Oh, good point.
That's true too.
We haven't seen Kirishima.
It's weird that they didn't use Kirishima with Kota. Like, they're both the strong users, so it's weird that they didn't use that as a dual type of strength. But maybe Bakugo is saving Kirishima for a different type of offense defense attack.
So I was literally going to say that exact same thing. I was thinking that Bakugo and Kirishima would be a sword and shield type of combination.
Ooh, I see
like
that.
we'll see, like right now right at the end of this chapter we see Shota, we see Froppy. We'll see them at the beginning of the next chapter, but I definitely suspect, like you're saying, Vash, that we're going to get to see Bakugo and Kirishima going up against Deku. It's going to be interesting because we'll also get to see the advancements that Kirishima has made to his hardening techniques. Can he take a full punch from Deku? We'll see. You know what I mean? And we'll also get to see Bakugo try to use like maybe an AP shot or something else against Deku. So it's going to be interesting, man.
I do want to add also.
I'm excited.
I was also gonna mention I forgot his name, but using the insulating tape around Deku as part of his also weapon, very smart. Cause less friction, let Deku can at least like get out of his own without any speed and momentum, and then within the Ragnarok, boom. And this is all Deku's strength that just literally popped out of that. Could that also have been used in Fujin? Since he didn't have enough movement, or is it just going to be brute strength that for him to push himself out of it?
I think he just straight up used brute strength, bro. Just straight up brute strength.
And one of my favorite scenes or panel of this chapter as well, adding with the All Might and about him not bathing and everything. I love Froppy flashback saying that I'm not weeping or moping around anymore, because I love how she felt that she couldn't stop them when they went to save Baku and everything. I love that, like, she got the flashbacks that she was not weak and defensive, but she acknowledged that she was weak and defensive at the time, that she couldn't stop her classmates. But now she's at the level where she could stand up with their classmates to stop another classmate to do something alone. And I love how she said, we won't let you live that fantasy alone, meaning that they will do that fantasy with him as a comic book type of superhero, but not alone. So I love how they acknowledge that, and they know about his dream of being a comic book hero from the comics he read when he was a kid, and about having All Might as an idol. So I love how they all know that, but they won't let him live that alone. So I love that very much as well.
So I love this track that we're on right now. Abe, like, what other like combos do you think we might get in the next chapter? Because I thought Shoji and Tokiyami using their two different quirks at the same time to try to trap Deku was really, really cool. Momo, they obviously had a strategy, right? Tokiyami was supposed to get Deku into that dark room so that they can lock him in and try to put him to sleep. I thought that was really, really cool. So obviously they've thought about multiple strategies. So I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but what other like combos do you think are possible for like the next chapter?
We saw Shoto use his ice ability, but we haven't seen him use his fire yet. So I feel like we'll probably get that out of. Wouldn't it be dope? Where's Mina at? Wouldn't it be dope to combine fire and acid? Like just I don't know how that scientifically works, but
I mean,
like,
acid is not really like grease.
No,
kind
but
of thing.
acid, it depends on what type of acid. It's also
It's
flammable.
erosion.
But
Yeah.
it's also it depends what type
Because
of
like,
acid.
I feel like
It's
the
flammable, so.
intense heat might turn it into a gas, but that would be deadly to everyone.
Hmm That's
hey,
that's
who
mustard
knows?
gas.
Yeah, I don't know the. Make it happen here, Koshi. Let's
Yo,
break
Abe
some
just wants
dust
destruction.
things.
That's what
I
Abe
just
wants.
want-
Just Abe just wants to see explosion of
But-
the city.
I do want to see Todoroki utilize his fire ability because again, while he used his ice and made that ice wall cool, but even his flashback that he pointed to was Deku being like, "Yo, I mean, don't shy away from both sides. Use both sides. You have the skill. So let's see that put to the test." Of course, I want to see Ida using his speed in some way. With speed, you can combo with almost anybody. You know, Ochako for sure with float and who else? Who could she combo? She could combo with almost anyone too, couldn't she?
We also haven't met with our purple grape friend.
I don't care. I don't care about. Naruto,
but-
really.
I have a
But
question.
I think it was a great time for Kaminari to shine. Like even though Deku was struggling, he had his arm around his neck. Like, dude, you gotta count on us. Even though like we gotta put friendship down your throat, but you still have friends. Like, yo,
Yeah, you still have friends.
Did you
Um,
notice
I mean,
in this chapter?
I need him
with Mercenary-
to make some advancements on his quirk, man.
Yeah, it's like because he's used as a trump card. He's a trump card. It's like I need
Mhm.
to
the million
develop
shot.
some more. Yeah,
Yeah, like I
develop
need him to
more-
be able to use it and still be coherent.
What if he?
Yeah.
Couldn't they? I wonder. Like, couldn't you just make like battery packs and stuff? Like, just use electricity to just charge multiple battery packs in case of situation, that sort of stuff. For
Yeah,
like
so he doesn't
bombs,
have to
maybe.
overload.
So
Or like when
that's
he
what.
overload once, but he
Energy
could just
source.
recharge a little bit, at least so that he doesn't get confused. Or...
So that's what I was gonna actually guess. Did you guys notice with what our boy Mercenary brought up that Momo tried to use the same strategy they use against our boy Gigamakia, try to put Deku to sleep. So the classmates or Momo saw him as a like big threat enough to it that for her to use that same strategy. Did you guys notice that, or how did you
I
guys
mean,
see
I
that?
noticed,
we
I
kinda-
noticed, but I wouldn't say big threat. I mean, the
It's
point
not.
is to stop him so that he can stop hurting himself. So
Plus,
I don't like
he
they-
needs to sleep. He needs to
Yeah.
sleep.
right, yeah,
Like,
he needs to rest. He needs to eat. He needs to rest. He
We
needs to
should-
chill. the
like,
fuck
this-
out.
And
in the
bathe.
shower.
And bathe.
and bathe.
Our boy was like, "Ooh, you funky. Ooh, I'ma hold on, but you stink."
That's what I was thinking because he literally said like not a chance, pal, and then literally probably like 20 seconds later he's like, "Don't you miss baby, my guy? You sting up real bad."
Like the-
that's the
like-
most funniest line.
And literally, the moment he came out, he lost his mask and everything. Okay, now all the funk is coming out. It's gonna
just
come
like,
from his suit and
"Ooh,
everything.
homie."
We don't even need danger sense to track you. Just smell track. We'll track you up.
Anyway,
Welcome, Black Hole Player in the chat. He's here listening to us. He said the fact that they can't hold Deku down with no sleep and no food, I am worried. It's a
But
good
that's
point.
not everybody yet. That's not every classmates yet, and they're not done. You could at least
They're not
expect like
done.
you're not done. Like literally, there's people who have to be up front, and there's got to be people in the back. Set up the arena, set up the boundaries at least, so that in case he comes out of the first circle, he still has the outer circle that's restraining him to take him down to help push him back in or anything. It's better
keep
to
in
take him
mind-
out in a united group than individually separate. is what I see.
But keep in mind, Deku is also, he's not on the offensive. He's on the defense right now.
Mhm.
He's not trying to hurt him. He's not trying. He's just trying to be like, look, guys, I'm taking everything you got. I'm not allowing you to stop me. I have somewhere to go. So had Deku been like, hey, I'm going to throw these hands, whoo, it'd be interesting. But I do like that Horikoshi's taking this approach. It's like Deku hasn't fully lost himself just yet. He hasn't. While he clearly still loves and cares about him. Yeah, you know, because there was potential that, you know, Deku can go just full dark in the sense of like, yo, he'll end up hurting his friends, you know, just in order to accomplish his goal that he's so fixated on. But the fact that it's like, look,
he refused.
I'm holding myself back. I'm holding myself back. You guys are just in my way. Get out my way. I understand. I love that he said, I understand what you're all saying. I do. But you guys still don't get it. You still don't get it. I need to do this. I'm the only one who can do this. None of you can do this. And let's be real, none of them can.
And I love that
maybe.
I love that we got that flashback to page 10 because you get a visual representation of why he's worried. Bakugo could have died. Gran Torino could have died. Aizawa could have died. He lost a leg, right? And these are amazing heroes. Imagine everyone else. So he doesn't want to see them get hurt. What if they get injured to the point where the nurse can't heal them? What if they don't have the technology to save them and he loses a classmate? And if that happens, then what is the point of having all of this power, right? So I feel like that's where Deku's coming from, and that's why he wants to keep his distance.
Yeah.
But as far as this fight goes, this fight will end with Talk no Jutsu because none of them can beat him. He is going to fuck all of them up, but someone will be able to talk him out of it, and he will stop, but they will not be able to beat him.
Yeah, I still think that we might get interference, so we won't really get a conclusion. But something that JB said, and I wanted to add on to that, is the fact that, like, when we had that flashback, something that people need to understand, Deku witnessed all this firsthand. The others didn't witness all of this firsthand. You know, the Bakugo situation, a good number of them witnessed that. They didn't really witness the Gran Torino situation. They didn't witness the Aizawa situation. However, Deku also forgets that they were there at the war. They did experience loss. He's not understanding that, yo, while you witnessed the these dangers firsthand, we've also seen some things too. Don't forget, Deku, we were there during the war. We lost Midnight. We were there with her when we tried to stop Old Boy.
That's what I hope.
No loss as well.
That's what I hope is brought up next chapter. I hope that they say like, yo, I hope Bakugo said like, yo, Deku, I was there with you fighting Abu Shigaraki. I was there with Guarantee, and then I hope the other classes write the button saying that we lost Midnight, we lost other teachers, we lost other heroes. I hope they bring that up.
Not in this kind of conversation, because you see how every moment where Deku was restrained.
But thing is,
keep talking.
But the next chapter, once they got Deku more tired, is when they will speak more about it. Because right now they're just interacting with how Deku has changed their lives. But now they will say, how can they change the other lives of the people who saved? Because the things that they're discussing right now is that how has Deku has helped them and plus influenced them. Now, next chapter and next two chapters will be of how Deku and the Class 1A can help the other heroes to bring back the city and actually work together, not just Deku alone. So that's why I feel like that conversation is going to be helping Deku and him himself for next chapter and next two chapters itself.
Definitely, like, all they're really doing is just having him restrain a little bit, just so that they can keep talking no jutsu this out the entire time and everything, and Shoto himself like, yo, look at your face, like, you want to cry, you want to feel this responsibility, but you can't handle all this burden by yourself. It's about to reach the moment though, like it's about to reach Deku to his emotional size where he needs to rely on his friends. Of course, the not knowing of the unknown in the future is scary, but he does not need to be alone into this sort of fight, into all these issues. Like, we all know the cost, we all know the responsibility, we all know you're the only one that can take on All For One, but while you're handling All For One, there's other interference and other people on the side which you can let us handle, we can take care of. It's our responsibility as a hero. Just don't be a hero by yourself.
How do you guys feel?
The thing is, The thing is, Deku hasn't even realized that you do know that All for One knows that he can't do it by on his own, right?
Mhm.
Like even though he's using all of these other villains as pawns,
It's still
he
pawns
knows
using
he
it.
knows that he can't reach his goal by himself, even with all of his power. Deku needs to learn that lesson.
And that's why I feel like next chapter is gonna be interesting because Mercenary brings an interesting idea. Like with that video game, with the video game reference from Baku made me realize that Class 1A are coming in waves like a video game, and I feel like that's true because we saw only parts of Class 1A students. And as much as what Abe said, our proper hair friend, boy Mineta, as much as we joke around, we're gonna see each classmates do other small things like Mineta, like
we're gonna, yeah,
like
that's why I mentioned
Kirishima, Baku, and everything. So we're gonna see other waves like I remember, playing Spider-Man, the game, and we see, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. We see each type of villains, but for here, it's each type of classmates.
Everybody has their own
doing their own
mission.
combo
Everybody
attacks.
has their own goal set. Yeah, because each classroom member has their own goal. They have their own mission, what they need to do, and they are executing that really well at the moment. That's what I'm seeing. And all we see from Bago was just to clear off the smoke. Okay, let me be the last wave of enemies to fight because I know I'm gonna be the one that has to. I'm like shit talking a lot to Deku and I'm like doing all that shit, but eventually what has to get through him is gonna be my conversation with him because I was in the front line with him. I was with him with Shigaraki. I was literally there with him, seeing all the same damage. But I'm still here counting on my friends, relying on them, and like you may be more powerful than all of us, but even I can see that we are better as a group, as a class, as a teammate, as our friends together than being by yourself alone. And this is coming from a selfish, almost I want to do everything by myself. I want to be shown it all by my own kind of thing. No, I need to count on my friends. I need to count on my classmates. This is big for Bakugo's character too.
How do you guys feel of Mercenary's comment? Imagine if Mineta being the key to Deku and put me in place. How do you guys feel about that? Mineta being the key.
Before the whole entire before today's chapter, remember how the Incredibles of how they restrain Mr. Incredible with the bubbles and the restraining
by throwing the
and everything
black
like that?
balls, yeah.
It's literally so that they trap him so they stop his movement and then literally just to have enough of it just to suffocate him and stuff and not even be able to remove it.
So you're saying Mineta's the key to throwing the purple balls instead of black balls?
I'm saying it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I thought of it too. I mean, he could use Purple Rush on Deku. I mean, I think it would be really cool to see how Deku even.
They just need to be able to. They need to be able to catch him. They need to just be able to catch him and restrain him by enough time, or at least make him land onto a Purple Rush.
Right.
Does the Purple Rush get bigger?
Into the room with Momo.
Does Purple Rush change size, or just that small, like his hair size, or does it get bigger?
The numbers.
It's multiple numbers of it.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, how do you feel about Purple Rush being the key to stopping Deku, the one and all? Okay, I guess that's his answer. He said no. Ty says, do you guys think Deku will use the second quirk in his altercation? We did speak about that much earlier, right?
No, I think he should keep it hidden for now. Like
until he fights All for One. I don't think we'll see it until then.
Okay. Like only in like a most desperate situation, because they're both technically both sides are not in desperate situation. They're just both sides are holding back, are just trying to do the best they can. If they were really intent to like violence, Danger Sense would have alerted for Deku. Because that could also be another thing with Danger Sense. That's like they're not really attacking me. They're not really like throwing blows and like hurting me and impacting. So Danger Sense was not being triggered out the entire time. So that's how you know like they're technically holding back too.
It's just like this is so intriguing because in page 1 we see Ida just staring in a serious face, and then in page 4 we see Ida, Ochako, and all of them huddle up with a smoke screen happening. And then Baku there as well. Right? He stops the smoke screen by using landmine blast. And then at the end of the chapter, we see Todoroki and everything else. And then we see the car. So it's just interesting to see with next chapter, like where's the climax of this altercation gonna be with these students and Stain being inside the car. Like we are just theorizing, of course. We don't know truly what's gonna happen, but it just excites me to know that Stain is gonna be involved in this, and how Stain had a big influence with the students of with Deku, Ida, Todoroki, and them when it first happened in the Stain arc. So just to know that Stain pops are like almost just like scream in happiness, like just see Stain in this altercation, and how this conversation is gonna be with Ida, Deku, and the classroom excites me.
Yeah, man. I would love for the altercation between Deku and Bakugo to end exactly the same way their last fight ended, but Deku in the exact same position. I think that would be sick. I think it would be really poetic. And I mean, Deku needs to get this win because he's lost the last 2 times. So I need him to get this.
Didn't he
win.
won the first? I thought he won the first time.
No, he lost the first one. And then he won the second one, and then he lost the third one. If I'm correct, that's let's go. Because I know right now Baku is 2-1. That's what, if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, they've only fought twice. This would be Deku Bakugo 3.
Oh, it is?
Was it? Yeah.
Then twice. All right, so
during a training session.
Yeah, Deku won the first one. Yeah.
Alright, so Deku won that one, and the second one is Bakugo.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's a third one.
We
Yeah,
got the
sorry.
tiebreaker.
JB, I'm with you because this is look. This is all for those Bakugo fans out there. Deku finna whoop that boy's ass. All right. I just need you to understand. Bakugo ain't got shit
He
on
has
Deku.
to.
All right. Deku is going to whoop that whiny, loud person's ass. Okay. And I'm here for
put
all
some
of it.
He's a New
respect on my boy's
Yorker.
name.
Yo,
Yeah,
Abe,
respect
he's a
on
New
my
Yorker.
Deku
He's a New
cry,
Yorker.
Baby. Deku cry. I don't give a damn. That boy is well developed, and instead of just rah rah rah, I'ma yell. My name is Lord Dynamite Explosion. Shut the hell up.
Great
all right.
explosion, murder god, Dynamite to you, sir.
F that boy. Deku, whoop his ass, yo.
Vash, kick him out. I will not tolerate Bakugo's slander.
Alright, I'm gonna put him on mute right here. I'll put in waiting room right there. Alright, bye. He left.
Damn, how you doing like that? Oh man,
He should be back.
this is a good chapter though. Without a doubt, this was definitely up there.
Oh yeah, man, this is a great chapter.
But I'm really curious to know what's gonna happen with that. Like, what's gonna be happen next within this arc, and where we're gonna be tuning in next.
You only get one. I'm petty. Only get one.
But yeah, man, I'm very excited to see what the next step is in this battle. It definitely won't be over in the next chapter, but we'll get to see the next side of it. We'll get to see some more combos, because we know, again, like I said before, we know that before they went after Deku, we know that they came up with a plan, because they know they had to have a plan in order to stop him. So we know it's gonna happen at some point. So
I mean,
I'm ready
for all
for
we
that.
know, staying watching all this, like, why am I watching kids fighting each other? Like, this is like a playground. It's like this playground fight kind of situation thing. Like, why you brought me over here just to watch a whole playground, like kids playing in the playground fighting each other kind of thing? But I can definitely see that kind of conversation coming out of him. Yeah. Now we have to wait 2 weeks until the new chapter.
Unfortunately.
comes out.
Hey, but we know this. August 1st is about to be one of the most lit Sundays of recent memory, because yes, we get the continuation of My Hero. Of course, we're getting Jujutsu Kaisen back too. You know, One Piece. It's gonna be. Oh, I can't wait for August 1st.
It's gonna be an exciting time with August 1st. Last year is gonna be coming back, and for us to be covering and Shonen Ronins episode 12. But it seems like we are about be wrapping up with My Hero, so I want to ask any last final thoughts, any last theories, any last comments, and for the chat, any last questions before we transition to Black Clover as well. So put in your last couple questions you have for My Hero for us to transition to Black Clover. So let's go with you, Abe. What last final thoughts, any last final theories, any last comments? No more slander about Bakugo, like James said. He's a New Yorker.
You lucky you said that. You so lucky you said that, because I was going.
If it makes you as a good host to know what's coming, I gotta know what's coming. I gotta be, put the topics out there before I transition to the next person to talk.
Look,
I think Bakugo is the best secondary MC Period.
Oh, look.
I think Zoro got some words there.
I
Zoro
enjoy-
in One Piece. Oh,
Well,
Zoro.
I'm not
Oh.
familiar. So
Oh,
I
Zoro
will
got some
say
words
this.
there. Best vice captain, best second character. Put that there on top.
I enjoy Deku and Bakugo's dynamic because even in the beginning, I thought that we would have a big three of Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. Todoroki's kind of like just in the
he'll
air.
get there, man.
Eventually, I mean, with 320 chapters, it's like, all right, we gotta get that at some point. But Deku and Bakugo's dynamic, you know what, JB, this is the best way to say it. It's a Batman and Superman dynamic, low key. You know, like it's that constant push and pull. Like they need each other, but they won't like outwardly acknowledge that. There's always be that sense of like, oh, there's tension between them. But honestly, they work so well. When those two get paired up, they do damage. And I guess that's why we're all on opposing sides because, as you know,
yeah, right?
I'm a Superman fan, you're a Batman fan. So even though in this case, Deku is more of that Batman role, and Superman is Bakugo is less of that Superman role, but still the bond, the dynamic, yeah. So hey, I don't hate Bakugo, but I need Deku to whoop that ass.
Oh yeah, I love Bakugo, and I also need Deku to beat that ass.
Like Deku's first move was smoke screen, the same way Batman does it. Like, okay, smoke screen.
Hey!
I need him to beat up Bakugo and tell him, now that you see, with all of my power, you can't stop me. I need that scene to happen, and I need that line, and I'm gonna be so happy.
Facts.
Definitely.
But
James.
Mercenary brought up something really cool. Maybe we'll see some of what Shoto will use against Toya in this fight.
I would like to see
Ooh,
that.
Mercenary,
yes, please.
I am
Yes,
hoping.
please.
I can only hope, bro. Because I would love for him to be able to master Flash Fire Fist before he goes up against Toya. And I feel like this would be a type of situation where he can use it and Deku won't get hurt. So we'll see.
And for those that are watching right now, live chat, go vote on the poll. Who's the best secondary character we have for Zoro or Bakugo? Right there, go down, vote below in the live chat right now. Right now.
That shouldn't be. We have 1,000 chapters, over 1,000 chapters of One Piece. If that poll goes where it shouldn't go, if it's not the result, I think I need y'all to read One Piece or
It's
at least
60-40 right now with Zoro winning. So
it should be 95-5. Okay, like I'll give 5% to Deku. It should be 90 to Bakugo. It should be 95. Don't play on Zoro like that. Don't do that.
Yo, I will always say this is not like a whole One Piece segment. I will say my favorite line is when Sanji asked what happened, and when Zoro said nothing happened at all. I will always remember that line. Can't wait for people like James, my girl Ray, to see what I mean by Zoro, that character and everything. Best secondary character hands down I've seen in most series. There's probably a dozen more series that are out there that probably have as good as secondary characters, but definitely Zoro. We should have that as a tier list. Definitely, that'd be a great show.
yeah,
best
we
secondary
plan
character.
to do many tier lists. So
So definitely for sure. But Sam, what are your final thoughts overall of the chapter, and maybe climax thoughts for next chapter overall?
So, I don't remember who in the chat had mentioned this. Like the whole idea is for all for one's goal of maybe using Deku's body as his host. I'm not gonna throw away that theory just yet, because if Deku didn't have his entire class talking jutsu or try to help him, that sort of thing, it would have been impossible. It would still have been a good manipulation game to put pressure onto Deku, make him have anxieties, have them all that stress and all that anger towards him. It might have been possible. It actually can be very possible for All For One to possess his body to use instead of like Shigaraki, what we all thought in goal. But I don't see this kind of story anymore, because this talk no jutsu is what's helped. Like All for One put Deku into a state where, all right, I want to leave you onto this level of stress, this level of anxiety, this level of stress, because that's your weakness, and that's how it's gonna like give us the win. But the class 1A is literally dropping into like giving you hope, rely on us, togetherness, and like the whole entire friendship. It's helped bringing down the level of anxiety and stress and everything, and that's what's helping Deku instead of going against him. So the theory is still possible, but at the same time, not yet. There's still
I
got to
think
be a
it's-
correct balance between of Deku knows that he needs help. He knows he's the only one to stop one for all for one, but he's not alone. And that's where Ray's theory of yes, Deku's gonna be the one to beat all for one, but in a way where he either gives him his quirks or takes the quirk so that they cancel out each other. That's why, like, I feel his theory is correct, where it's gonna balance out together, where it negates both quirks together.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Like the only pushback I would give is that I kind of feel like Deku's body itself, like his physical body, is kind of useless because he still can't use 100% of One for All because of his physical body's limitations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why he built up Shigaraki's body, so that he can take Shigaraki's body and steal One for All, so that he can use it in his new body, which is Shigaraki's body. But it's still very possible, you know. Horikoshi can do whatever he wants, and I'll be here for it.
And we just got an interesting comment on the live chat saying, what other My Hero YouTubers do you plan to collab with in the future? Well, we did collab with Vocal Pineapple on a podcast, not on a My Hero full discussion, but we definitely want to have him here. He also does read Black Clover or know of the series, so, and I know he reads other series on Shonen Jump as well. But what other My Hero YouTubers? On the top of my head, I don't know. Do you, Sam, James, have any idea?
No, not right now.
Sorry,
Also, like chat, if you definitely have any ideas for us to collab with anybody else in the future, definitely tag them, DM us who we
Yeah,
should
let
tag,
us know.
or if you know, send us some of their videos on our Discord. Any of those things, because we don't mind collabing with more content creators that does My Hero, Black Clover, anything like that. So it'd be great. So, and for my final thoughts of this chapter as well, I came to see the next chapter in August 1st with My Hero, of how Boku and Deku fights and their interaction, how Todoroki Shoto gives their interaction with Deku as well, because we know we're gonna get a flashback of Todoroki when he speaks more to Deku, saying, you're the one that made me accept the fire from my father, the quirk of my father, because we know we're gonna get that, because we've been getting a lot of flashbacks from the sports festival, and that's one of the most impactful. That's where it got me to like My Hero from season 2, when Shoto and Deku interaction, and Deku, instead of winning the fight, he chose to help and save Shoto from his past and from his darkness to accept the fire. So I know we're gonna get that flashback for sure, and that'll be pretty beautiful to see. And I can't wait to see the interaction. And maybe, like we said, and like you chat asked, what type of new powers or new combination of fire and ice quirk are we gonna see from Shoto that he might use against his brother Toya? And what else are we gonna see from Kirishima in the other waves of Ochako? And Mineta, is Mineta gonna be the key? Is Mineta the key like Lois was the key in Batman and Superman, the movie of Justice League of Zack Snyder? Was Mineta the key? Was he important, guys? That's the key.
Don't play with me, yo. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. If that ends up happening, I'm taking like a week or two off from My Hero, and then I'll come back.
What did Mineta do when the first Nomu came in attack? Really?
I do not remember.
I don't know. He might show up to he might show up to Deku and be like, Deku, come back to 1A. There's so many boobs at 1A. Come back, my friend. Come back.
I hope Deku slaps him with Black Whip if he does that. just slap him across the face. He's like, what, boy? Why? Get up my face, yo. I will actually hurt you. I don't know why I have this intense hatred for Batata, but I do. Yo.
He's just the gag guy. He's useless in my eyes.
Damn, that's just sad. All right.
Like I'll say this during the class training arc between 1A and 1B, I did like seeing him shine. It's like, hey, he does have some use,
sure,
but like still.
Yeah, I still don't care.
All right, so without further ado, that's My Hero discussion, aka review of chapter 3, Tenny. And we're going to transition to Black Clover, the big milestone of 300. Sam, would you want to stay here and leave, or would you want to just come back after we end?
I'll be hidden, but I'll still
Copy.
be around.
All right, copy. So, Sam, we'll see you on the next one. We hope for you to read Black Clover one day in the future for us to fully join this conversation. We hope.
All right,
Bye.
all right, chat. I'll see you in the outro.
Alright, so Black Clover chapter 300, the big milestone of chapter 300 itself. How did we all feel?
I'm empty again.
Yeah, kind of. You know, I kind of felt like this chapter was a little anticlimactic, if I'm being honest, because the biggest thing for me was that I wanted Noel to have a complete hero moment. We've seen many moments with Asta. Shit, I can't use my form anymore, but the mission needs to go on. I need to go plus ultra, go beyond my limits, and win the day. And like Ray was worried about this entire time, was that Black Clover was just gonna do the Dragon Ball thing, and Asta was just gonna show up, and he's just gonna save everyone in their battles. And that's not what I want, man. Like I wanted Noel to get this W. I was just kind of disappointed. And it's also the thing where it's like, yeah, I got a couple cool like panels in this chapter, but it's not enough. And I'm just left like, well, just give me the chapter for next week. You know what I mean? Like that's my overall thoughts on this chapter. Like I just want what's coming next week.
Yeah.
For me, I felt like Ray texted in the chat, Black Clover was disappointed, and when I read it, I'm like, wait. So far, like I was thinking, let me see. I was reading it, and I'm like, okay. I was on page like 14, 15. I'm like, okay, not bad. It's not disappointing, yeah. I'm like, cool. I love Megicula conversation though. Like, I love her questioning humans. Like every type of non-human person in any type of anime, manga, cartoons be like, why do y'all always have hope? Why do y'all always believe? Why do y'all never give up? Like, why do y'all always keep trying? Why is that a human trait? I love how Megicula always kept asking, like, why don't you humans give up in page 7 it was. I'm like, cool. And then Noel was like, our strength lies to not give up. Alright, cool. Are we about to get like a new power? Is she about to unlock something of Undying? Alright, cool. And then she said, I will detonate Lompa Chica and kill the human. Like, oh shit, we're about to get some destruction. And then the double spread happens. And then I'm like, oh, really? Him? Like cool, I get it. I said the MC. And then when I read this this page 12 and 13, like that's when I knew what Ray meant as disappointed, because people need to understand, like, we get it. Deku is the MC, but Deku's not always the one that getting W's or getting L's. Other characters do. With Black Clover, Asta's always the one that's kind of rescuing people and others. It's not like maybe what happened if Gordon came to save Noel with his, dark poison magic and, stuff like that. Or maybe if somebody else came to save Noel. But when Asta came and everything, and then...
Nero. Like, Nero could have shown up. Nero could have blocked the exploding curse. Like, it could have been someone else. Like, let it be someone else. Let it be Noel. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that or her brother, Nuzzle. Like, her brother do something like, hey, you did this to my mom. Let me come and interfere, or use some type of mercury magic, or like one or another. Like, that'd be fucking amazing.
Yo, honestly, okay. So, like I said, I felt empty. I agree. I thought this was a chance for Noel to that's the theme of this whole series: surpass your limits, right? But what I did like, my favorite part actually of this chapter was when Megicula basically mocked her, like, surpass your limits. How futile. And basically just questioned humanity. Like, why do you guys continue to do this thing? Even devils don't dare try to usurp higher levels because they know that they'll get their ass whooped. And I agree. Ray was right. I'm so sad that he was right, because it cheapened the moment. And Vash, like you mentioned, we now know that Megicula is responsible for the death of Noel's mom. We now know she's responsible. Why not have her brother come in and have this family moment where now older brother, younger sister, they're now aware of who took their mother away. Like, they've been working on their relationship has changed a lot, mainly in part since the elf arc. Now is the time for brother and sister to really bond and surpass their limits. That would have been dope. But instead, you're just like, hey, let's have this dialogue. And I was so afraid that we were about to get some weird type of talk no jutsu. I was like, there's no way you're about to like talk yourself out of killing them all, right? Like, please don't do that. And then Deku shows up. Asta shows up, and I'm just like, all right, guys, I'm probably gonna be taking a break,
So Chad brings up interesting conversation. All right, so let's go down. And Mercenary says the fight's not over yet, and Asta might not end be all. Okay, good. Asta should level up the playing field and think he's just there to protect La Chica. I don't think Tabata will take that win away from Noel. I hope. That's what I want. We want, not just me. We want Noel to take the W, because this is for a mom, for the people that cause harm around Noel, La Chica, right, Charlotte, and everybody else. And Mercenary also says the King World will stop anyone else from doing anything. They can't use magic in the areas though because of Megicula. So, what do you guys like or said about this? Because there's also Jomino, hopefully I pronounce your name right. I prefer Asta to show up. How do you guys feel about that?
There is a possibility that Tabitha won't take this victory away from Noel, because now that Noel saw Asta, although like it looks like she's relieved, it can still be spun that she just, is able to dig deeper, be like, I have Asta here.
That's a fair point.
He just freed Lola. I'm just going to call her Lola for short. He just freed her. Now I can put my full focus. I just got my second win. That'd be dope. But if that doesn't happen, come on, man.
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, it's frustrating. It really is. I'm frustrated because people love, when it comes to Black Clover, people love to say like, oh, look at how our woman characters are done well and whatnot. It's like, yo, here's a chance to really solidify, for Tabitha to really solidify, like, yes, I do right by my woman characters. But if you don't, like, if you fumble this and just have Asta save the day, you're just like Kishimoto low-key. I'm not saying that, that they're on the same level as Sakura, but I'm going to put you in the same, like, overall bubble. Because this is a chance really for Noel to shine and get revenge. Because this is hers. Megicula is hers. This is directly tied to her. Don't take that away from her. Please don't.
Yeah, and I mean, chat, you guys are right? Like, I'm just voicing my frustrations with Black Clover week to week sometimes, and some of the choices that Tabata makes. But much like Abe alluded to, like, this could just be the moment that just further inspires Asta. She says, "Our strength lies in not giving up." And then later on, Noel also says, "That's what you taught me," right? So this could have, Asta showing up could easily just be him eliminating the magic that cursed Little Pechka and maybe freeing her from Megicula's curse warding magic. And then Noel takes over, digs deeper, surpasses her limits, pulls up her Saint stage again, and then finishes Megicula. That's what I hope, and it's definitely possible, right? And it's like Chat already said, it's definitely logical that Asta showed up to stop in this moment. But I would have preferred if Nero showed up and Nero like sealed away the curse exploding magic in order for Noel to keep pushing forward. I also feel like the motivation from her other friends being hurt in this situation could have been the same motivation that pushes her forward into doing something else. But I'm not Tabata. I'm not the writer. It is what it is. I was just a little disappointed.
I love how Megicula also says, could that be how humans occasionally surpass expectation and create spells? However, there's no human life who can produce a spell capable of defeating within decaying world. So I love how she's also understanding how humans work, but also with Tabata fall for breaking, saying that that's how humans like Yami, Asta, Noel, Magda use the surpass your limit as the message, as what Abe said, like this is the story of don't ever giving up, surpass the limit, always go above what you deserve and go for greater. So I love how Tabata continues and be consistent with that message. And yes, his writing is not perfect like we say, but I love how people view it as grateful is. But here we give different voices. And I love how Chat was saying that Tabata has been consistent with his characters 110%. I disagree with that. Yes, Magna did get the W against Dante, and that was mostly Jack the Ripper, aka Jack, and that was mostly Magna that was taking the W from Dante. But he came last second, and now Jack probably did finish him off, or probably Jack got control. Who knows? With Noel, we know that she's gonna take the W, but we're just curious to know, how's Asta gonna be part of this conversation because we don't know, has it passed 5 minutes or has it only been 2 minutes throughout this whole conversation and altercation? Because we know that Asta needs, I think, a good 30 minutes or an hour for him to use the form again. So he cannot even use the form once again. He can only use regular mode, aka swords. His swords are still useful, but he cannot use Devil Union for, I think, for another a good 30 minutes. So stuff like that. We're not saying that we're mad about this, but what James brought up, we're frustrated to know why it had to be Asta. Pika Secret or aka Nero use dark magic. She uses dark magic, so she technically could avoid the war decaying. She has part of it to unlock stuff, so technically Nero, aka Secret, could have done something.
But we honestly, you mentioned this Vash, and it just finally clicked for me. I was like, I should have realized that Asa was coming when Megicula's like, yeah, no human could do it. So like, well, actually, there is one who could stop your magic.
I'm literally reading that panel again right now.
I'm just like,
the same thing.
I should have known. Yeah, Asta's gonna show up anyway. You know what, chat? It's my fault that I feel so empty. I should have been known. As soon as that was like, okay, Asta is coming. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. As soon as those were the magic words, you stayed like, all right, there's no human who could stop my magic. That's the sign. That's the bat signal for Asta. That means Asta's coming. At the end of the chapter, or the next one, Asta gonna pull up, be like, you rang? Throw my sword. What was that?
But I really
Anytime
hope.
I see that now, I'm like, oh, Asta, you're on your way.
I really do hope what Chad just said. Rip Gaja. Like, I hope this motherfucker's dead. Like, honestly, like, I didn't want him to die. I said it was either going to be Loba Chica or Gaja. Alright, cool. Since Gaja's dead, Loba Chica is going to survive, and then she's going to have the will to use some type of offense magic to stay as the queen. Because she even told Gaja she has no type of offense magic because she only has defense with Udain. So that's why Gaja trained so hard to has the best offense magic so he could be the sword and the queen could be the defense. Alright, cool. But now that Gaja used he fought with his loyalty to protect the queen who is sworn to use and protect. But now he looks like burnt as a crispy dark toast. Alright, cool. You seem like you're dead,
He
motherfucker.
turned his life force into magic.
So
please
I know.
don't cheapen what he did by bringing him back to life.
That's what I'm
Please
saying.
don't
I
do that
hope
type
he's
of stuff.
dead. I hope. But, Tabata sometimes like to bring some
don't-
people back to life. So I hope he stays dead. Like muerto.
don't.
Like
Please
muerto.
Yeah,
Please
like
don't.
honor his sacrifice,
Yeah.
and let his sacrifice give them the opportunity they need to free Lilo Pechka.
That's my
what
hope.
I'm hoping for. But yeah, man, definitely rest in peace, Gaja, man.
And I love how Mercenary Thread. I think Megicula is slowly learning about humans and growing from the experience, adding more depth to the character. Yes, that is adding more depth to character because she don't know much about humans.
Definitely.
And it gives, because the only two we're learning more about is Megicula. Dante we knew a bit about, but we don't know much about Lucifero. We don't know much about Zeno's Deva as well. So we only know about the character Dante, that he was the guy that just fucked a girl and then just left on the side and then control the Speak Kingdom. And then somehow a lot of people want to use that one girl that he fucked on the side to be Asta's father. I'm like, how do you just use a random chick behind the panel and say that's Asta's mom? I'm like, that's just literally out of left field. Like, the guys, come on, like, we get theories come out of nowhere, but that's literally a left theory. But then with Megicula and with Bianca, I feel like we had the more character growth of these characters, of the devil and the human side. But we think Bianca's dead, possibly. But I feel like Bianca will survive and join the Black Bulls. That is my theory. And Megicula will definitely disappear or die later. Because remember what happened to Sally? Crazy chick was against the whole Black Bulls and everything. But somehow she joined the
Yeah, but
Magic
she
Knights.
was never an evil person, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was never an
She
evil
was never
person.
an evil person that wanted to kill people.
She just
Veronica,
crazy.
on the other hand, accepted devil
look-
magic because she wanted more
but look.
power in order to kill more people.
Sally loves Asta and wants to experiment, and Bianca loves Noah and wants to battle hungry. So it what happened if they both join the Black Bulls and everything, and have Bianca and Sally both be like, "Hey guys, let's start fighting again."
I don't
know,
see
I'm
it.
just like,
Yeah.
Not Vonica. Not
No,
Vonica, dude.
I'll be real. I'll be real. Even during the Elf arc, I wasn't the biggest fan of the enemies turning into friends or allies. I wasn't a fan. Please don't do that with the Dark Triad. Please don't.
No,
like,
no. I mean,
let enemies stay enemies.
They portrayed them as the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
like they burnt down the Spade Kingdom for their own personal gain. They took on this devil power so that they can have more power to murder people. Sally and the others, they're just fighting for their own freedom and for their own advancements of their own their own goals. But I wouldn't say that they're evil people, right? I can't remember the one guy's name that has the like necromancy magic, but he only went against the Clover Kingdom because they kicked him out because they thought he was too powerful.
Yeah.
So he has a grudge against them. Sally just wants to advance her magical science and all that stuff. So they have their own goals, but I would never call them evil people, unlike the Dark Triad, who are completely 100% evil. So I need Vonica to die. I don't want them to do a 180 on Vonica. I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't want it.
Understandable. So, I guess with my theory just left out the window. So, I guess that theory. That's what happens. Because I said this here on Shonen Ronins episode 11. So who knows within the next couple of months when this arc ends and we see Bianca turning good or join the Black. But they're like, oh shit! I guess what random theory I said 4 months ago came true, or maybe she dies. And with what Chad said, did Bianca die? We don't fully know, but she's also burned as a crisp or like all black, so we don't really fully know if she survived. But Megicula came off her body and Bianca's body turned all black, so we assume she's dead, but we don't really know how devil magic works.
I kind of think Vonica's dead. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she's dead based on what Vonica says on page 11, because her plan is to detonate Lolopechka and then she'll be able to fully manifest. In order for her to fully manifest, Vonica and Lolopechka have to die. So if all it takes is for Lolopechka to die for her to fully manifest, then I think Vonica's done already. But I don't know.
Yeah. Because
that's just what I can assume.
Wasn't there 3 stipulations? She needed 3 deaths, right?
Yeah. She said.
Osier, Lolopechka, and Vonica.
Yeah. So correct. I mean, Lolopechka she's alive. She's saved. Asa saved her. I'm with it in the train, especially since like she doesn't care about saving Vonica's body. It's just a vessel. She needs her dead anyway. Yeah. So correct. When he sacrificed his life and basically did the ultimate magic, even she was impressed. She was like, "Oh, wow, this was quite a spell. I'm surprised you were able to do that." It still wasn't enough to take me out, but you got my kudos. Yeah, Vonica done though. Don't. Tabitha, I swear to God, don't you dare, please.
Yeah, and I mean, Megicula only came out because Vonica was on the precipice of death because of Noelle's blow. So I mean, she might be gone, but
especially like now you see her fully. She got the wings out. Yo, she's nearly manifested fully.
Yeah.
So that means we got one more left. So let's work off that, please. Leave Vonica dead. Leave the dead. Let sleeping dogs lie. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn shit. All right. Lady of Books and Coffee says, I don't see Megicula becoming an ally and so much as potentially a source of information for the good guys, because Dorothy of the anime has said she's trained so she could hold devils in her dream world. I love the episode when we saw it in the anime when Dorothy had Noelle in the dream world and explained what's happened, and Dorothy is broken as hell, and I want to see more power from her. I want to see more character from her. That like she has a whole dream world to she could bring people in and literally do whatever the fuck she wants. That's a whole dream world in one person book from a spell. So I want to see more of Dorothy. Like I said, like we want more of characters and everything. But like, hey, Tabitha made a big cast, and it's hard to literally show. Like, if you see One Piece, if you see My Hero, with big cast, it's hard to show so much characterization in every single character. But it just takes time. Tabitha may not be perfect at it, but he's doing his best. And I feel like hopefully we see more Dorothy and maybe Noelle with this type of arc that's going on right now.
Damn it, I love Black Clover. Don't get me wrong. Like, any frustrations that I have it's because I love Black Clover
Correct.
so much. You know what I mean? And if I ever say that I don't want to read it week to week, it's because I love Black Clover so much, and it kind of just hurts me to only get like 13 pages per week because I just want more constantly.
Yeah.
I constantly want more of his story and these amazing characters that he's created. You guys have seen me on the show. Noelle is one of my favorite female MCs ever. Believe me, I love Black Clover. It's just in certain moments that happen is just a little frustrating, but it's because I'm so invested, man.
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Roro
I'm
Noro,
in
One
similar
Piece.
boat. Well, I don't love the series. I'm not, there are other series that I prefer over Black Clover, but I've been a fan. I enjoyed myself. I started off with the anime, switched over to the manga, and I enjoyed myself. But like I mentioned before, last episode of Shonen Ronins, it's just been like something's missing. Whether that's because chapters have been too short as of recently, or as I mentioned, there's been no sense of despair. It's just everything's just been mellow. Like there's no danger of, hey, things can go south. You can die, you can lose. Not everything is gonna work out. Not everything can be saved by just surpassing your limits. I haven't felt that until recently, and then this chapter is kind of like, let's kind of move back a bit. I'm like, no, continue what you were doing. But I say I might take a break. If I take a break, it's not going to be an issue because I will go back. I'd like to see things through. But man, if I get some whole shit, oh my goodness.
Yeah, like James, I don't know if you heard last week the podcast episode 10, but me, Abe, and Ray were like, yo, we got some despair. We love this shit. Yo, some good despair happened, and we were like just raving of how much despair we got. Like, yo, Megicula caused some great havoc. We love this and despair shit. Let's bring some more top of that. Let's cause more sadness, and we're so happy. But then we got this hope. I'm like, no, don't give us hope.
Yeah,
give us more sadness.
I'm with Merc though. Like despair is definitely coming, and like I've said before, it's coming from Morris. Like we've been led to believe that the Dark Triad is the threat. It's Morris. Morris has the power. Morris has the intellect. You combine those two things, that's the real threat. So I know we're getting to it, but that's where my frustration is, right? Like I have so many questions. What's going on with
chilling
Morris?
in the epicenter of this whole thing?
Yes.
He's
down below.
He's the true evil.
Oh, cool.
He's the true evil. So we know despair is coming, but I just want to get there. I know that we have to get through all of these different battles. It's just I kind of wished it was paced a little bit better, because it's kind of hard like looking at Horikoshi, who I think has just mastered the pacing of his story. And then Tabata has created an amazing story, but there are a lot of times where I think the pacing is just not where it needs to be. It's kind of just all over the place. And I know by the end of the series, by the end of this arc, I should say, it'll all make sense. But reading it week to week, I'm like, I don't get all of these choices, if that makes sense.
No.
Well said, and I totally agree, because I feel like it's like where we going with each choices or with which characterization to popping up. Like that's why I love it talking about it in a discussion based when we talk about the different perspective, live chat here as well. Us hearing guys' opinion if we're right or wrong, but it just brings it to a good conversational, because to know this is just a chapter of a piece of a fraction of the grander story. That's why I hate when people say Wano's not great. I'm like, but you don't know the full story. You just read a fraction of a chapter that you guys are not feeling it. Or My Hero as well. When people read, I don't like how the chapter, and I'm like, all right, cool. But maybe in the grander scale of the My Hero arc that we're reading, or Black Clover arc, it might be better. Like that's why I say like, okay, Asa show up. But we all said, let's find out, wait for next chapter, because maybe next chapter will fulfill the plot or the host that we feel like, it's not there, the despair. Maybe next chapter in 2 weeks we'll be like, okay, we like this better now. And now that completes the last few chapters in a better view or in a better lighting. So that's how I see it with some chapters when we discuss and read, because I feel like it's a better way to understand these type of chapters in a good lighting.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like what Mark
Absolutely.
brought up too, I hope Charlotte gets up soon. She still has to save Yami. That's one of the things, right? We still need to get back to Yuno. I still need to know what's going on with Charlotte. We still have to get to Morris. What is Nozel doing? What's going on with Fuegoleon and the others? Like, it's just all over the place right now. And I
Even
don't
though
know.
she's not my waifu, but Marileona, I need to get back to her too. She's not my waifu, but you know, I like looking at her.
Ray stole her from me, so I'm very upset about that.
You know?
And
What
Charlotte,
is she doing? She's in the outside.
she's on the outside, she's firing it up, destroying those big demons like it's nothing. She's just like, yeah, I'm gonna just let my flames out. And
Handle
just,
them with ease.
Just
With ease.
destroying ancient demons like it's not a problem.
like it's nothing. She's like,
Like,
ah!
yo, you need her. Get her to save the world and get that fire and water combo going. Like, do that.
Ray, you stole her from my subconscious, okay? before I could put her on the list, you stole her from my subconscious.
You stole it from all of us. I don't know what you mean. Like, we could technically share, you know, Marilona, if you want to do
No
that.
sharing. No
we can
sharing.
have a contract, you know, share certain characters. We could do that.
No sharing.
Well,
I'm not sharing any of mine, so that's not gonna work.
You did want to share one of them
Oh yeah,
before you
Vash.
said?
No,
I did not.
no, Vash, you're sharing yours.
I was offering
with
to
all of us.
trade.
No, Vash is sharing his with all of us. Don't worry, Vash. It's okay. We already got you sharing. It's good. We don't need any more.
Mine is lock and key.
We'll be using
Because he
yours.
also stole Miracle from me. Because he thinks that I didn't say it. I said it. And we're sharing Miracle. All right, Ray? Oh, damn. Ray just came in. You know what?
He's like, shut up, Vash.
You know what? Let me see. I'm going to do something real quick. Please, Ray. There. This user, I don't know what happened to him. He can't type right now. Huh, that's pretty interesting.
What?
I don't know what happened there.
The pettiness flows.
Right?
Oh, wow. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, something just random
See,
happened.
chat, this is why I don't participate, because if I get banned, I'm rioting. Look, if anybody listened to Friday's episode of C4S Spoilers, I will turn into one of my variants. Stop playing.
I just want to say the poll that the Anime Lately YouTube channel had here on today's stream. Who's the better secondary character from Zoro and Bakugo with 22 votes? Zoro is at 64%.
Y'all disgust me because it was at 75 and now it's at 64. Look. I just want to talk. If you voted for Bakugo, just say so. I just want to talk.
I mean, I voted for Bakugo.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. Well,
But
it makes
it's
sense.
because I
You don't know Zoro
I
as a
don't
character
have
yet.
any
Then,
reference to
then,
Zoro.
then
so.
in that case, you abstain. You should have abstained. That should have been the right thing to do. Don't be wasting votes. Abstain. You know what?
I don't know how
I'm
if
in
you
chat,
like,
y'all.
you
Let's go.
abstain. Like, in his eyes pop out. You're like, you abstain. You don't freaking vote. You don't know.
Which
the
is how I
character.
feel about the poll with All Might versus Aaron. If you haven't read the manga, you should have abstained from that poll because
That's fair.
you're talking
That's
shit,
fair.
bro.
That's fair. I voted
I'm
for
just
Aaron though on multiple accounts.
Talking shit.
Yo, I think that everyone is still losing to everyone there. Oh my, Luffy and I forgot the other person there, and to Batman he lost to.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Really? Really? To
So he ended up
Batman?
losing to
We're not doing
Batman?
this again. Oh, yeah.
it
he's
switched
losing.
back. Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow. 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 So guys,
You want to tell the chat what happened?
so chat, for those that don't know, RayApollo just blocked LegendDVash on Twitter. Wow. I'm about to see something.
Hey,
here.
you go low, I go to hell. That's Ray's motto, and that's my motto too. So them Bakugo voters, let's chat. JB is excluded, although he should have abstained, but you know, we
should've.
already have our own rivalry going on anyway, so this is just one. Well, what's one more? One more thing to throw in there? But you Bakugo voters, let's talk in chat. I'm right here. Let's
Well, for those Bakugo voters, we will do definitely a secondary tier list. We will plan one. Me and the guys will discuss what we'll do, because we will probably have a discussion for this Thursday, a good discussion that we did talk behind the scenes. So definitely stay tuned for that. But are we good for the Black Clover discussion? For the chapter 300 review and everything, are you guys fine? Any last final thoughts with any final remarks with what you guys like to see in chapter 301 in the next 2 weeks?
Man, I'm just ready for 301. This was a good chapter. Again, just a little disappointed that Tabata didn't like utilize some of the other characters instead of using Asta in this exact moment. But very excited for 301. I need Noel to, like Abe already alluded to use Asta showing up as motivations to continue to go beyond. I hope that Undine also takes this moment to go beyond and they defeat Megicula. That's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping for.
Give us that, please. Give us that, please. Or even let's say that Lola is able to because let's say that she's able to regain consciousness and just contribute in some way. Not saying that she needs to switch up her philosophy and be offensive, because I don't want, again, that would make old boy's sacrifice in vain if she all of a sudden became offensive. But if she's able to wake up and just to join forces somehow, just give whatever magic she has left to help the cause, that'd be dope. You have a trio. You have the three women there shine bright. You have all three shine bright. Please do that, or some combination of that. Tabitha, please let Asta just be in the wings. Let him be in the wings. I get it. He's one of the best trump cards in the whole series. Let him stay up there. You know, if it gets too bad, then he can interfere. But it's not too bad just yet. Not just yet.
Agreed.
All right, cool. I also like to add that was it fair surpass your limits or plus ultra? Ooh, that's a big question. What do you guys want to tackle that?
Plus
Or
ultra. Plus ultra, because there was several times where I was about to say Noelle is about to go plus ultra. It just flows better than surpass your limits. It's just like let her go plus ultra. You know, I had to be like, wait, that's wrong series.
Yeah. I say plus ultra all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. I just say plus ultra.
It works. I like that saying more. But it's funny how Hirokoshi and Tabitha have the same like basic philosophy, like always going beyond, going above
beyond
your limits. So, hey.
I like surpass your limit because I feel like there's no limit, but then plus ultra just rolls off the tongue easier. Like I like the phrase surpass your limit more, but I like plus
Interesting.
ultra word more, if that makes sense.
I don't know what it is, but whenever like All Might says plus ultra, I lose it. I get goosebumps. When Endeavor said plus ultra when he was fighting against that Nomu, serious goosebumps. The first time I saw that, I rewound that clip like, I don't know, like 20 times just to listen to him say it over and over again. So it's like I just prefer plus ultra all the way around.
Okay. So for that question, guys, go to the Twitter side. We have two polls. We have who's the better secondary character do you like, Zoro or Bako? And the second one that we're about to do later as one of you. What do you like more, plus ultra or surpass your limit from Black Clover My Hero? So definitely, guys, go vote on that if you have a Twitter account. And Sam, you could come back because we are ending the show here. We did our My Hero review and My Hero discussion as well. So hopefully, you guys enjoy everything with that. With Abe and Sam, I know that you guys read more series, so me and James cannot talk about it. What was your favorite chapter of the week? Weekly Shonen Jump issue 33.
My Hero gets the top for sure, because like so much build and so much great chapter development and stuff. For the others, it seems more they focused on into the comedy section. It was okay, it was alright. Because Masho, I see where they're going with it. Because like the last couple of chapters has been a really big fight, but now they're pretty much keeping it closed and it's not the best. I guess the impression I had for it was like, oh, like it could have been something different, but what else? Technically, I didn't really finish reading Red Hood, and I did not read Fujimoto's new one shot that came out today too, which was 140 pages, and yeah, I don't have the time for that.
That's a short novel. Holy hell.
Exactly. So but definitely My Hero's already gonna be up there. Sakamoto Day is definitely up there too, because this chapter was funny. It was fun. It was definitely great. Abe?
For me, Sakamoto Days it was just wholesome and hilarious. I enjoyed it. For those who don't know, I run the Inside the Mind of a Blurred Twitter account. Every Sunday, I try to do a non-spoiler Shonen Sunday thread where I read a couple, not all the series, just the ones that I'm looking forward to. And one of them was Sakamoto Days. It's so chill. I can't wait for physical copies to drop. Sam made it known that you can pre-order now. I'm about to pre-order immediately.
We have to wait all the way till April though. So
Yeah, I'm fine with that. As well as, you know, Dr. Stone. I love Dr. Stone. I really do. And it's just, I've never felt like a chapter has dragged since I started. And the last few chapters and the chapter today was just so fun. The new characters that we're being introduced to. Um, this is a minor spoiler. A few chapters ago we got a major time skip that just flowed. It made sense. And so I love the growth that we're getting from these characters. Dr. Stone is one that I always look forward to weekly. And then Undead Unluck. We're at a portion in the story where things are getting really good. Things are changing. We're starting to see a lot more development between Fuko and Andy. So of course My Hero, dope chapter. But we spoke on that enough. So to share some of the other ones I read, Undead Unluck, Sakamoto Days, Dr. Stone, they were some good chapters this week.
For me, what I would say, for those that like our Food Wars Shogoki no Sanji reactions for the past 2 chapters within these past years, we're going to be reacting to chapter 3 later on. So just give us a bit of time. And what I haven't read, but what I'm looking forward to, the Mission Yuzakura family, Takamoto is Undead Unluck, Masho, Cannon Flurry, and that's all about I read. But for those that don't know, Children X chapter 3 came out a couple of days ago.
I actually liked it.
So I haven't read chapter 2 and 3, so I'm gonna definitely read those before we do the reaction for Shogoki no Sanji. So that'll be exciting. And I am continuing my reread for One Piece. I'm almost at chapter 300, so I'm almost there. So I'm trying to catch up soon. And I'm gonna start rewatching Wano soon as well. So I definitely can't stay tuned.
What chapter are you at?
Almost chapter 300.
Did you say you're catching up soon, sir? We still got.
That was 600 more. All right, I can't.
700. Oh,
Sorry.
700.
Okay, so I got almost 700 more, but still, like, hey, soon.
I'm gonna catch up. Like, hold on.
All right, soon, my guy, soon. All right.
You still need to continue to start Hunter x Hunter. Stop that nonsense.
Right.
All right, true. I know. But James, what was your favorite 2 chapters? Those are the only ones you read before we go. My Hero, Black Clover.
Definitely My Hero, man. Like Horikoshi, I've said it every Shonen Ronins episode. Horikoshi is goated. Again, love the parallels between everything that Deku learned from his classmates and Horikoshi showing us in this chapter everything that the classmates have learned from him, whether it's from their quirks or like building their personality, how they view fights, how they view people, villains. So this chapter really hit home for me, and I can't wait for the next one. Chat, let me know on Twitter like what other series you would like for me and us to read, because Vash wants me to branch out a little bit more. I'm trying to branch out a little bit more. So let us know what you guys want us to read, and we will do it on Shonen Ronin.
Yeah, like Jen just said, for me to segue out for the outro and to say and repeat the giveaway. For those who don't know, like we said in the beginning of the show, Black Clover is not always up to par for what we read and everything, but we do want to tackle other series that are big. Yes, we cannot tackle One Piece yet. As you see, James and Ray are in the process of reading that. So that is a big behemoth, a big mammoth to read. So definitely, guys, wait on that. One Piece will probably cover like in year 2022 in the summer or fall of next year. So stay tuned for that. That's another time. That's probably like a Shonen Run episode, like probably 80, 100 around there. But for definitely stay tuned for.
Hopefully not that far.
Yeah, who knows? But definitely for my mashup, Undead Unluck, Sakamoto's Missions of Crew, I would love to talk about that. But let us know what other things you guys want us to read. Definitely, JJK My Hero is not gonna change in August 1st. We're still gonna cover those. Red Hood, possibly as well. Kaiju no Bait is gonna still stay in the roster. But for Black Clover, sometimes we just have such a little conversation for that. We would love to actually put more light in other series that are high in the Shonen Jump roster that we would love to give them more attention to and to you guys, the fans. So definitely stay hit us up on Twitter, tag us. All our handles are down below in the description. Please let us know what you guys want us to cover. We have a good 2 weeks for us to read or another so you guys want. So it gives time for James. Don't forget we have our own lives, our own content, and our own stuff to do as well. So please let us know what you guys want us to cover down below in the description. And other than that, guys, don't forget to
hold on real quick, Vash. If you ever want to review Mission Yuzakura Family, you know I'm right there with you. You put me on, and it's been a gem. I've enjoyed every week. Oh, shit, boy, that boy. It was way before I even got on anime lately, like started working with them. He just was, I was like, what is that? He said he sold me on it. I started reading. And I was like, boy, this John gas.
I
This
tell
John gas.
people,
And it's
if
been one
you-
of my weeklies.
I'll tell people, if you love My Hero and Spy Family, it's like a mesh of Mission Secure family. It's like a family that does spy shit, but have their own type of different abilities. And
I still have to start Spy Family as well. I need to start that because Sam was mentioning that.
Spy Family
You and
is
Sam
good.
were mentioning that. Yeah.
Spy Family is good, but Mission Secure fills in that void. And I have put on Abe, I put on Perm, I put on a couple of people, and they have never was disappointing. They never was great. And I tell people, if you just stick into at least 20 chapters, it's good. It builds character. The first 40 chapters overall is building character. After chapter 40, it gets a new editor, and that's from Haikyuu editor. And more double spreads, the story kicks up, everything gets better after chapter 40, and people never disappoint. And I love how when I recommend it to people, they're never disappointed, people are happy. But overall, let us know what you guys want us to cover, let us know what series, and other than that, see you guys back in 2 weeks for Shonen Ronin episode 12 with Ray, with JJK, My Hero, Kaiju, most likely this Thursday coming up on Anime Podcast. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys. Let us know and hit us on Twitter, all announcement. Check the YouTube community tab, check on the Twitter, check on the Discord, and everything else, guys. See you in the next one. Take care.
Peace.